Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators.
Hello, and welcome to the Sovereign Cycle, the first of many videos. My name is Anon, and I intend to remain anonymous. I work as an AI, machine learning, and analytics professional with over a decade of experience analyzing historical patterns to assess probabilistic future outcomes. This channel is built on one core principle: pattern recognition over prediction. My commitment to you is that I will always speak with integrity and deliver well-researched information. I will tailor content based on your feedback, so please comment below and subscribe. I will never try to sell you anything. I will always clearly distinguish between what is grounded in historical data and rigorous analysis versus what remains speculation. Every major claim will be supported by evidence from economic history, academic papers, or primary sources, and I'll cite them transparently so you can verify them yourself. To be clear, this is not a channel that tells you what to invest in. My goal is to provide a clear framework to help you understand where we are in the long-term cycle so you can make better informed decisions about what is appropriate for your own situation in these unprecedented times. With that said, let's begin. In 1971, the United States ended the gold standard under President Nixon. This decision, known as the Nixon Shock, suspended the convertibility of dollars into gold and effectively marked the end of the Bretton Woods system, shifting the world onto a pure fiat foundation. In 1923, Germany experienced one of history's most infamous episodes of hyperinflation. The Weimar Republic printed money at such a scale that citizens burned banknotes for heat because the paper was worth more as fuel than as currency. In 2008, the global financial system nearly collapsed. Following the subprime mortgage crisis, major institutions failed, credit markets froze, and the system was stabilized through unprecedented monetary intervention. Primarily large-scale money creation. On the surface, these moments looked very different, but underneath, they shared a common thread. Each represented the end of a monetary or economic cycle, where accumulated imbalances could no longer be sustained without debasing the currency or restructuring the system. We are living through a similar transition right now. This is not a normal recession or a typical market cycle. It is a shift between underlying systems. Ray Dalio, in his extensive study of debt cycles and the changing world order, describes the current period as the late stage of the long-term debt cycle. In this phase, debt levels become too large to repay through ordinary growth, productivity weakens, and the primary response available to policymakers is currency debasement. But something even more fundamental is occurring. For the last 40 years, the world has been dominated by finance, capital flows, interest rates, and globalization. That era is drawing to a close. We are moving into a world where power matters more than finance, where energy matters more than capital, where supply chains matter more than pure efficiency, and where real resources matter more than financial models. As Francis Hunt, Brent Johnson, Michael Every, and Whitney Baker discussed in their Global Monetary Reset conversation in Cape Town, we are witnessing a clash between two worlds, the old finance-led order and a new reality where raw power, energy security, and physical supply chains take precedence. History shows that when one side has better arguments, while the other controls energy and weapons, the outcome is rarely determined by rhetoric alone. This marks the shift from a predominantly financial world to a real one. British General Sir John Glubb studied the life cycles of empires across thousands of years in his 1976 essay, The Fate of Empires and Search for Survival. He observed that empires typically last around 250 years and follow a consistent pattern: expansion, conquest, commerce, affluence, intellect, decadence, and then decline. We are not in the expansion or growth phase. We are in the stage of decadence. Decadence does not usually begin with sudden collapse. It begins with cultural and social shifts, rising inequality, loss of shared identity, blurring of social norms, and a move in focus from production to consumption. Institutions gradually lose credibility, and confidence shifts from the system to the individual. Dalio describes the same late-cycle phase in economic terms: high debt burdens, rising internal conflict, increasing external competition, and a weakening currency. Different language, but the same underlying pattern. At this stage, the system becomes dominated by paper claims, financial assets, debt instruments, and derivatives. Yet the real world does not run on paper. Energy is physical. Food is physical. Resources are physical. When the gap between paper promises and physical reality grows too large, history shows that the gap eventually closes, often violently. Look at the signals today. Long-term bond yields have been rising, even as growth slows. This divergence reflects eroding confidence in the system's sustainability. Gold has been rising alongside these pressures. This is not simply a reaction to conventional inflation. It signals a broader loss of trust in fiat currencies and paper assets. As Francis Hunt emphasized in the Cape Town discussion, gold functions as the ultimate lifeboat in a period of fiat and debt debasement. Energy markets are tightening, and supply chains continue to fragment. These developments reflect structural changes tied to deglobalization and resource realities, not just demand. The panel highlighted how militarization and geopolitical tensions act as accelerants for bottlenecks in oil, energy, and critical goods. Beneath the surface, credit stress is building, quietly at first, then potentially all at once. From here, there are two primary paths, recurring historical patterns. Path 1. Something breaks. Demand collapses, assets fall, and credit contracts. The system responds with zero or negative rates and large-scale money printing. However, this occurs in a world struggling with production constraints, so deflationary pressures can eventually flip into inflation. Path 2. Nothing is allowed to break. Everything is addressed through printing, debt is monetized directly, and currency debasement accelerates in real time. Both paths ultimately lead to the same destination: monetary debasement. The main difference is timing and the form the pain takes. In every historical case, one constant remains: When trust in the system breaks, people move toward monetary assets, particularly gold, not as a speculative investment, but as a form of protection. If the current system is the Titanic, the only question that ultimately matters is, where are the lifeboats? Every empire believes it is different. Every cycle feels unique on the surface. But the underlying pattern does not change. Debt rises, systems weaken, trust erodes, then something breaks. Not suddenly, but inevitably. This is not prediction. This is pattern recognition. Welcome to the Sovereign Cycle.